Today everybody, we're making bento style lunchboxes. This video is heavily inspired by Mina Rome. She's been all over my recommended page lately, and on her channel she has these cooking vlogs where she often puts together work lunch boxes for her husband. Now, I don't have a husband nor places to go really, since I'm working from home most of the time, but I thought this could still make for a fun video idea, trying out vegan bento boxes, especially with back to school season being back and all that. Support today comes from Squarespace. Also, I've got a cookbook that you can pre-order right now, and that's all there is to say for this intro. Most of today's recipes do have some Japanese or Asian influence to them, but in no way authentically. I did a lot of experimenting and improvising with what I had at home, but everything tastes really good. For this first box, we're bringing back vegan Tamagoyaki, aka Japanese rolled omelet. I love this recipe so much. This time around, I put nori inside, which gives it this cute little pattern. Super easy. In a high-speed blender, blend up the silken tofu together with chickpea flour, baking powder, salt, turmeric powder, sugar, rice flour, soy sauce, and water. I don't have a specific Japanese omelet skillet, and so I'm just using my regular pancake pan. Brush it thoroughly with some vegetable oil, and then bring it to medium heat. Once hot, pour in enough batter to thinly coat most of the pan. I did about 1/3 of a cup of batter per layer, tilting the pan around so everything gets distributed nicely. Add some roasted seaweed sheets next. I'm using wasabi flavored seaweed. It's a really yummy snack. Allow this to cook over medium for about 2 minutes until set, and then using 1 or 2 rubber spatulas, you're gonna start rolling this up to one side. Add some more oil next. Pour in another layer of batter, tilting and swirling the pan around, making sure that the batter goes under the already rolled roll a bit. And then, after once again about 2 minutes, you carefully roll this up, not in this direction, but starting from the roll you've already made. For each Tamagoyaki roll, I did 3 to 4 rounds of omelet layers. And then you just cut these into 3 to 4 centimeter thick slices, and that's it. Bento is known to be made up of more than one thing. I thought cheesy kimchi could make for a nice addition here. So I'm just warming up the kimchi for like a minute or 2. And then I'm mixing in some vegan cheese. Now onto assembling the box. The base is made up of some cooked rice and spinach, and then I'm just adding the pancake rolls. So yeah, this was so much fun, like really taking the time to arrange this nicely. I ended up creating a little little cucumber rolls because I needed something green in there. I finished this off with a drizzle of sriracha, and I would highly recommend. This next box is much simpler than the first, the main part being a sandwich. It's a really good sandwich. I didn't make this bread myself, but if you're interested in baking your own sandwich bread, I have a really good recipe for that in my Stranger Things video, which I will link down below. But so what I'm doing here is pan frying some smoked tofu slices in quite a bit of oil for about 3 minutes on each side, or until nice and dark golden brown. And then I used the same pan to sort of fry/steam up some broccoli or broccolini. I think that's broccolini, right? Just for like a handful of minutes until bright green. And then onto assembling the sandwich. It's simply just made up of hummus, vegan pesto, then some of the fried crispy tofu slices, beet slices, Then I also squeezed over some lemon juice and added some bagel seasoning as well. Okay, so the bread might have been a little thick. It's such a simple toast combo, but I really like it. Rest of the bento box I just filled up with some veggies. This was so good. To make these crispy filled rice balls, you need to cook up some rice first. Who would have thought? In the meantime, I put together my new favorite glass noodle salad of all time. It's very much inspired by harusame salad. So first, I'm hydrating some dried seaweed in a bowl. I was looking for a wakame, but I only found this Korean one, so I used that. Next, I'm also covering some glass noodles with hot water, setting that aside for like 7 minutes or until done. I wasn't 100% sure if the seaweed and the noodles would cook at the exact same time, which is why I had them separated. In a large salad bowl, mix together all the ingredients for the dressing. That's white wine vinegar, sesame oil, soy sauce, olive oil, or another vegetable oil of choice. You can definitely use something more flavor neutral here. Some agave syrup, some bagel seasoning because I recently got a new jar and I'm putting it on everything. After taste testing it, I ended up also adding some miso paste, which that definitely leveled up the entire dressing quite a bit. I'm adding some carrot here and some cucumber that I both cut into noodles using a vegetable peeler. Then I added my actual, now drained noodles, followed by the seaweed. Mix up everything, taste test, and adjust flavors if necessary. Now on to shaping the rice balls. I am a complete beginner person when it comes to this, but I read somewhere that it's helpful to use a small foil-lined glass or measuring cup of some sort. I used wet parchment paper instead, and that actually worked pretty well. So I'm adding about a heaping tablespoon of the cooked rice first, pressing down onto the rice tightly with a wet spoon. And then I'm adding a small amount of fillings. Really, less is more because you don't want the onigiri to explode. Mine aren't even triangle shaped, so I'm not sure if I can call them onigiri, but I did cream cheese, kimchi, and smoked tofu. Then I'm adding another heaping tablespoon of rice on top. Once again, pressing down onto this firmly, and then I just used the parchment paper to easily lift out the rice bowl and shape it some more with my hands. This was actually so much fun putting these together. Fry these for about 4 to 5 minutes on each side in a little bit of oil over medium-high heat in a non-stick pan. Try to not move them a lot before flipping them. Yeah. This salad I am obsessed with. It's so good. And biting into these rice bites, it's like the most satisfying thing. Okay, so this fourth bento box is possibly my favorite. It's for this oven-baked tomato spice tempeh. It's so yummy, and hardly any work is involved, which that is always nice. Preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Cut up some tempeh into bite-sized pieces, and transfer those to an oven-proof baking dish, like a deep dish sort of baking dish. And then you do the same to the tomatoes. Also add a few peeled cloves of garlic, some peeled ginger, a few tablespoons of olive oil, some pureed or crushed tomatoes, some salt, and a bunch of other spices. What do we have here? Cumin, cinnamon, chili flakes, turmeric. Yeah, that's about it. And then also add some agave syrup or sugar and mix everything up well. And then cover this with either a fitting oven-proof lid, some aluminum foil, or just a baking sheet, and then allow this to bake for 50 minutes to an hour. Meanwhile, I am preparing some crispy deep-fried tofu. These are so easy to make. So you cut up some firm tofu. The one that I like to use, it's by Erika. It tends to be quite dry, and so that's perfect for this recipe. Grab 3 little bowls, fill one with cornstarch, one with non-dairy milk, and one with panko breadcrumbs. You also need a small to medium pot with frying oil. It doesn't need to be filled up all the way, like a third is enough. Turn the heat to medium-high. And then start dipping and coating the tofu sticks. So first you add it inside the cornstarch, then into the milk, and then you do another dipping of cornstarch, another dipping of milk, before lastly covering everything in the breadcrumbs. Make sure that the oil doesn't smoke. If that happens, like lower the temperature a bit. You know it's the right temperature once bubbles start forming around a wooden spoon. Yeah, I do not have a thermometer. But yeah, once that's the case, add a few tofu sticks at a time. Allow them to fry until you're happy with the color, depending on the temperature of the oil and the size of your pan. This will take anywhere from 40 seconds up to 2 minutes. Yeah, so definitely keep an eye on them. Also, make sure to rotate them every once in a while so they get a nice, even color. Onto assembling the lunchbox. This is so nice. The tempeh is so flavorful. I love it. I bet you could have also added tofu or beans instead. I know I'm gonna get questions about the box. I'm gonna link to it in the description, but yeah, you can use any box. I also added some couscous here that I just quickly made by pouring hot water on top. Some baby spinach went in there, of course, and then the tofu steaks. It's a short and sweet video today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you now are feeling a little inspired to create your own bento box, then go for it. Take a little photo, put it on Instagram. A fun fact, I'm in Paris right now, and so I thought I'd share some cute little Paris B-roll while I do my ad segment. So yeah, thank you for watching, and thank you to my dear sponsor Squarespace for being there for me, and for all people who are wanting to build their own website and grow their online brand and business. Choose one of their many beautiful and professionally designed website templates to get started. They're really easy and intuitive to use. Squarespace also helps you monetize your content in a way that fits your brand best. With member areas, for example, you can unlock a new revenue stream by selling bonus content, such as online courses or extra video material. And with their new Video Studio app, you're now also able to create pro-level video content for all types of social media platforms. Give it a try. Go to squarespace.com/Mina Rome and use code Mina Rome for 10% off your first purchase of a new site or domain. Thank you so much for being here. Bye!